hungry. But at the same time, that gave me a headache. Well, let me do something here. Wash your hands before you touch that food. Don't touch that food. Reading that guy's comments and exchanges with this some of these people he talked to, like David Crick, it makes you want to wash your hands. Oh God, this is my personal response to anybody or negative creep, or could be anybody, or fan base or whoever. I don't care. I don't care if it don't reach nobody. But that video was hard to do for me. That video was difficult, and I came off with the old character that I play and talking a bunch of crap at the same time doing a review of something. And I'm looking at the comments of Jared, and seriously, it's kind of disgusting. I mean, I've had this feeling that someone did something so disgusting compared to someone eating a whole jar of mayonnaise. Kind of disgusting. When I read some of the comments, I read of Jared's thing. I mean, literally, there's a lot of people that are probably have the problems that he has, but they don't act as nearly as revolting as this guy acted. It's crazy. And you know, I took that video that I reviewed. I think it was last night, and I saved it because someday I want to use them as examples uh, to maybe educate people, maybe parents. I don't know. I don't know if that platform will ever come to me. But I always had a feeling that that would happen. But oh God, I realized I haven't ate no food, and so I feel sick to my stomach. Just reviewing, basically reading the last parts of the video where Jared had all these posts, every post that he made, everything that happened to him between Negative Creep and her. I mean, Negative Creep and him was um, he brought on himself. He deceived himself, and the fact that you say that this woman deceived you because she quote unquote didn't say that she had or didn't have a boyfriend, well, that's none of your business. But if she has a boyfriend or not, you don't know the person. You just randomly came to some random chick because of some kind of dark humor or personality and decided to make advanced comments or somewhat even comments that are maybe disrespectful or disgusting, like talking about your penis. Who wants to hear about your penis? Who wants to hear about the Jimmy Dean sausage? I would want to touch it with a 10-foot pole if I was a woman, nonetheless. And this woman has a similar taste that you have. She collects figures, displays them in her room like I do. I got Darth Vader here. I got other figures, but I don't play with them. The most I do is press the buttons. But that's me and me alone. But the thing is, the fact that this guy made it look like that she was playing with him and deceiving him is unreal. I mean, I never seen a guy that got bad because he randomly came to some stranger that he don't know, and her boyfriend is displayed all over, whatever it's Twitter or whatever, and yet you don't pay attention to that until she tells you directly that I have a boyfriend and that I have to be careful what I'm saying and all this stuff. Literally, she didn't care about what you thinking of her personally. She was just not leading you on. She was just being really simple. I mean, you're not her boyfriend. You're even not her friend. I hate to agree with her, but it seems like nobody is your friend. And I hate to say that because I don't like saying stuff like that to no one. But I'll tell you what friend that you do have. You have God as your friend. And that's the only friend you're gonna have. Yet that's the only friend you're gonna need. And I'll tell you that 100% in your face. And these other people like Dark Ninja and these other guys, they're not your friends. They're just after what they could get. These people could care less about you, and they may say something, but they all have that behavior back and forth. So they don't care nothing about you, bro. And no matter how many times they donate money to you, no matter how many times that you get phone call interviews with these people, that don't mean that they care about you. That don't mean that they love you, and that don't make nobody jealous. And it doesn't change what people think or even expose to the masses the truth of things, so to speak. Honestly, um, I'm looking at the same guy that can't get nowhere in social interaction and projects it on someone else that he doesn't know, and then puts it on the video when he gets mad and says, "Well, this girl, she played with me. She got that personality, that negative personality, or sarcastic." Which I watched her facial expressions and her voice tones and everything. Really, all I've seen was someone that's being genuinely sincere, up to the point where she got sick of Alpha Genesis and she finally got more sincere to the point where she was being played and clear as day. So I don't. If you're watching this, Jared, and I doubt that this guy don't pay me no mind. He thinks I'm one of those evil people like Chris and them. And then the other side, you got normal people, people that are not retarded. You dig? That think that I'm part of this Jared clan where I start doing stuff to people and doxing people's addresses. I don't play that game. I never even I never even doxed someone's address in my whole life. God. As far as like I mean, seriously. Um and there are people that are dumb enough to think that I'm after an audience. I'm not. I'm just doing a sincere video. I could have done it over my computer, but I'm not on my computer and I don't feel like it. I figured I'd do this and speak my mind. But I found that a lot of the stuff that I read, some words I couldn't read, I had to skip. I'm sorry. But the ones I was able to read, I was able to kind of do it as best I could. I might have stumbled and stuttered because I'm not used to that kind of stuff and I was robbed of it. Uh, I find it interesting that this guy just the whole time he thought about his penis, that Jimmy Dean mind of his. And even Jimmy Dean probably wouldn't even approve the manufacturing stamp on this particular piece of meat of a human being. You know, because it'd be no different in certain diseases of the swine. You know what I mean? And that's what I kind of think about. And I don't like thinking about that and mixing it with something I'm gonna eat. Which I'm glad I eat hot dogs for the record. I'm glad I eat Jimmy Dean's for the record. I'm having Chinese food crap. Hopefully that take away that feeling of my appetite being depressed or feeling some kind of disgusted. Room temperature IQ, man. There are people I've saw on my chat on my live stream. They say they think I'm like Jared. I said, how could that be? Physically, Jared can do better things than I can for those that are listening and watching. His academics is higher than mine. The only difference that is between us is we live in two different states. The academic side, and also the only thing we have in common is we just have problems with social interaction, and that we can't really do videos for shit. Those are the only two things that me and Jared have in common. But as far as all that other stuff that Jared lays and takes advantage of, I mean, he be worried about going on the internet and contacting these people like Negative Creep, wasting his time, where he could have used the resources that he was taught as a child, unlike me, because I went to I had a misguided educational system that even my mother didn't know, and my mother, told me that if I knew this stuff, son, I would have did something about it. Because my mom is not the kind of mother that would deceive anybody, not even myself. But just speaking as far as for Jared, speaking about Jared, Jared doesn't have that problem. He can read, he can spell, he can do all the stuff that I can't do, and he's wasting it, folks. He got two parents that are around him, and he's wasting it. And you would think by looking at that woman's video, and I feel kind of sympathetic and disgusted in my stomach physically, you would think that this was coming from me, but it's not. It's coming from a man who is not even, who's half normal, but not normal socially. Goodbye now.